Welcome to Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, a podcast we chart the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me as always, Brendan Jones.
No, I'm not going to do this one. So I'll see you guys later. You got another person here to do backup. So
holy
bye,
crap,
everybody.
Brendan, you're actually okay. I thought this movie was going to kill you.
We did.
It tried, my friend.
If anything, it just proved how strong you really are that you could survive this movie.
Yes, indeed. I think without
without credits,
when it was all said and done,
at like 74 minutes.
Yeah, I wish I had been on a ship barreling straight into a sun at the end of this thing. Whoa, man.
Movie, man. I mean, okay, so this is 2004's Dracula 3000. What a title.
Not a sequel to Dracula 2000.
No. In fact, it's one of the pieces of trivia on the IMDb is it has no connection to the Dracula 2000 franchise, which we, of course, are still in the middle of. We still have one more in that continuity to watch. But Dracula 3000. Gorgone, you were here for Dracula 2000. Now you're here for Dracula 3000. Mike Gorgone is with us.
There is nothing to say that this isn't a movie that fits into the continuity of Dracula 2000.
It's true. That is true. There is nothing to say that it doesn't. It just doesn't. It's whatever you want it to be, man. Like a lot of continuity.
Yeah, it is. It's whatever you want it to be.
Oh,
and you know
man.
what I want it to be? An afterthought. What I want it to be is something I only think of when I'm in the grips of a fever or food poisoning or something like that, where it's like, oh God, Dracula 3000 comes back.
Brendan texted me about this last night going like, what a pile. And I said this to you, and I said, we'll save it for Mike. Truly, this is in the running, I think, for the worst movie we've watched. I really do think.
As you said, and I absolutely agree.
Like, we've seen a lot of shit on this show, so I never want to get declarative about what the worst. Because, like, we've seen some of those Howling sequels are really in the running.
And Frankenstein Island.
I mean, we've seen stuff that's, like, barely a movie, which this is. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, this definitely goes in the bottom tier, right? This is in the bottom 10% of the show or whatever.
I read some of I was very happy to see that there were... in what I read, I did not see... anyone defending it on IMDb reviews.
Because you can't.
Or Amazon reviews, not IMDb.
It's indefensible.
And someone did say, this film is inept and incompetent on every single level. And it's true. Sometimes we find, because we're always miners for a heart of gold, just like Neil Young. But we often...
That was almost the theme song of the show.
It was almost... And every now and then we'll say, hey, this concept was cool, but they blew it. Or that was a good performance. The rest of the movie shit. Or at least this is good cinematographer. Just too bad the movie shit. In this case, everything.
Truly.
Writing, directing, editing, acting, costume design, set design. And by the way, design, I'm putting in air quotes.
Yeah.
All of it.
We have to use it because that's technically what it's called to do this. But yeah, I think the idea of putting any design or any artistry or anything into this movie was out the window.
May I read you a quote of one of my favorite reviews of this film?
You certainly can.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, this comes to us from Mitchell Hadaway of DVD Verdict, which gives you an exact time period of when this movie was released.
DVD Verdict.
But, and I quote, "It sucks. Dracula 3000 makes Leprechaun 4 in space look like Alien."
Agreed. Leprechaun 4 in space is a masterpiece compared to this. Of the horror franchises that have gone to space, this is the worst. I'll take Jason X. I'll take the Hellraiser in space movie.
That's
what
I was about to bring up, is that at some point we should do some definitive list of, the horror icons in space.
Yeah.
Which ones worked, which ones didn't. And I think almost none of them work.
No.
But this is the worst.
This is,
I mean, Leprechaun in space, dumb puns at least, like all the Leprechaun movies, I'll take it. Jason X, that thing is a comic book and it's stupid, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that might be
garbage.
That might be the best. Jason X might be the best, and it's still horrible, but I kind of like it in like a goofy way. This is, you can't even I couldn't even engage with this on like a bad movie level. I really was irate about
for
this.
half a hot second when it started. I was like, right, okay, so we've moved the story, the classic story, into the future, into space. I gotcha. Here we go. It's a spaceship Demeter. I know this. All right.
By the way,
here we go.
Making the Demeters.
You didn't appreciate that the first 5 minutes of the movie is literally Casper Van Dien telling us everyone who's in the movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, I always love that.
And you know,
always
all of that is so important too. You really need, without that context for these characters.
I mean, the only thing I'm sitting here going like, okay, I get what their basic premise is, fine. And then he starts to like, let me introduce you to my team. And he's like, I'm Abraham Van Helsing, badass captain of a starship. And over here is my boy, Arthur Holmwood, a.k.a. the professor. He's the smartest guy I know. And I immediately went, you guys have never read the book.
Oh, no.
You've never read the book. Arthur Holmwood? You mean the rich dude who's...
Shouldn't it be
Seward?
It
should be Seward.
Yeah, Seward, yeah. Well, I was going to say, actually... None of using any of the names from the novels means absolutely nothing.
It means absolutely
nothing.
And also, they give up. It's like Kevin Costner's accent in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It starts. It starts doing the like we're doing a transposition of the novel, and then they just give up halfway through the characters. Yeah. They're like, this is Mina Murray, who for some strange reason, because the actress is German, will sound German, and now here's 187. Now here's Humvee. I'm like, wait, what happened to a Harker?
Yeah, I mean,
are we not getting a Seward?
I thought the same thing. I thought if you're gonna do that, then go down make them all.
Aurora Ash? I'm sorry. Is that maybe Lucy? Is Lucy the cyborg android lady?
I'm shocked that she wasn't Lucy.
Oh my God! It's like they just couldn't be bothered. They just gave up. They're like,
the whole movie's like that.
People will dig this because it's. And then they went, no.
The entire
Brendan,
movie.
They're in
like
the Carpathian Galaxy
on
a ship that was coming from the planet Transylvania.
A planet of vampires.
From transsexual Transylvania, indeed.
Oh,
this could have really used some Tim Curry.
This movie functions on a Brave Star logic. That's what it functions on.
No, that's an insult to Brave Star.
Yeah, you're talking to one of the biggest Brave Star fans out there.
You're talking to
the planet New Texas.
Yes, an honorary citizen of New Texas. And I would go to Fort Kiriam. Are you kidding me? I would.
Didn't see a single techno horse in this movie. That's all.
There was no Equestrabot or whatever they were called.
I'm a techno horse.
30-30.
30-30,
anyway.
Man. Yeah, this movie. Boy, I mean, this it fails on every level. So
I
that
cannot
leads
wait
me
to hear what Gorgone finds enjoyable.
I was just going to say, because Gorgone, you had seen this movie before.
Correct.
You wanted to do this episode.
Yes.
You and I would joke about the existence of the movie. I had never seen it before last night. Why? Gorgone, why?
Yeah.
Why would you want to put yourself through this?
Let me preface this by saying I am not about to defend this movie.
No, because it's as we've established,
it is bad.
It is indefensible. There is nothing to defend about this movie.
No, there isn't.
But there is two things that were seared into my mind as an adolescent when I saw this movie. Back in like 2006-ish. Because I definitely did not catch this when it premiered.
Where would you have even caught it when it premiered? Where?
No idea. There's almost no information about how this movie was released.
The director's house. That's where it premiered.
No, this movie
premiered at the director's house.
This movie, for all intents and purposes, does not exist, right? Like,
right. This was a tax evasion scheme on the part of Casper Van Dien, and that's pretty much it.
It feels like it has to be.
Oh my God. God.
No, the two things that were like burned into my brain of this movie, and like every other detail that I've have recaptured in my rewatch of it, is superfluous to these two details.
Okay.
One is Party City Dracula running down a hallway in a spaceship.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up because Brendan Gorgone was on the other week for Blade Trinity. You were saying, worst cinematic depiction of Dracula, and Dracula 3000 says, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Good Lord, I'll take Dominic Purcell's Dracula over this all day, every day.
Count Orlok who turns out to be also Dracula,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other names. Wow,
All day,
that was a big
I will
twist.
take a whole franchise of movies about Drake from Blade Trinity over this.
This guy looks
Good
like
Lord.
not just a Spirit Halloween store, but also knockoff neighborhood haunted house Dracula.
I mean,
And
no,
the cape he's
that's
wearing is the same one that Grandpa Simpson wore in Treehouse of Terror.
No,
it is.
He looks
the
like
most.
he really does look like the neighborhood dad that dressed up as Dracula. 100%.
Yeah.
The
100%.
collar on that cape is the stupidest thing. Oh God!
And with the like the fluffy sleeves, like
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
like
Well,
the,
that's how they dress on the planet Transylvania.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
Oh,
Langley.
Jesus.
so it's
Langley Kirkwood is the name of the guy who plays Dracula in this.
good for him.
A guy,
Yeah.
by the
But
way,
the
a guy who
juxtaposition
has
of
a bunch
that-
of legit credits. Weirdly, anyway.
Sure.
Well, sure.
But he got his start in Dracula 3000 : Infinite Darkness.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
true.
Infinite Darkness.
Yeah, that I did not know until it came up on the screen that it had a subtitle.
All right, Gorgone, what's your second thing? The indelible thing.
How this movie ends has always been the funniest thing to me, where it's just ship explodes, hard cut to credits.
I mean, this movie doesn't end; it just stops. We've covered a few movies like this. The movie's just like, I don't know.
But there's like it's trying to have this like semi, or not, it's not even trying. It on paper it has this like melodramatic Last Voyage of the Demeter ending of and everybody died.
I
And we
guess,
get
yeah.
Udo Kier on the way out going, I need to kill myself and everyone
by the
aboard.
way, yeah, Udo Kier worked for 5 minutes on this movie.
He did, but you know what? He's the best part of it.
You know what? He's
Even while he's clearly looking at his lines on cue cards,
yeah.
which he is,
what
he's
is this?
still giving a performance. And I was sitting there going like, you didn't even need to do that,
I
Udo.
think we're close to reaching double digits on Udo Kier appearances on this show.
I
right?
think so.
He's
I
been
think
in
so.
so many vampire movies.
Yeah.
Classic bad guy face. It's just
And particularly classic vampire. He plays, and he doesn't play a
He
vampire.
is
in this,
Andy
which-
Warhol's Dracula.
He
ladies
is
and
Andy
gentlemen.
Warhol's Dracula, a movie we never did cover, but
We didn't cover that one
but,
either.
and we have more incoming. There's still more Udo Kier performances.
And I'm fine with
This
that.
is also
Again,
not
he's
even the
fine.
first time Udo Kier and Casper Van Dien have been in the same vampire movie.
That's right. I know. We've already seen that pairing before too.
In Modern Vampires.
But this is a movie that asks us to go. We've now terrified you with a vampire on a ship, on a spaceship.
Yep.
Now, Tiny Lister and
okay, who
and,
I will actually say, I actually think Tiny Lister...
Erica Laniak are going to have sex before they die.
Yeah. But I will say...
This is our end game couple, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually think Tiny Lister is the best performance of the crew. I don't think he's good, but I
mean,
think he's actually got... I mean... He's
doing Tiny Lister. He's just doing the like.
But I'm saying that's.
I'm gonna say things like this. Blah, blah, blah,
But he's
blah,
got.
and you're like,
He's
okay.
got a level of life and charisma, and I mean, I guess, fucking Coolio goes for it, man.
Coolio goes for it.
For it.
I'm not saying where he was going was worthwhile.
No, but he
goes for it.
Going.
I do want to like rattle off the cast of this film really quick because there's only the 8 people in this entire movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
We got Casper Van Dien as Captain Abraham Van Helsing.
Oh.
Giving nothing.
Well, giving
Erica
his usual
Laniak
nothing.
as Aurora Ash, the cyborg.
But they couldn't have
secret
found
person.
The cyborg narc.
But the idea that they couldn't have found anything Dracula related to have called her.
No.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Aurora
We got
Ash.
Thomas Tiny Lister as Humvee.
Yeah.
Yep.
That classic Dracula character, Humvee.
Yep.
Keep in mind,
I
he's-
remember him very well from the novel.
He is 4 years out from working with Christopher Nolan on The Dark Knight. Is that not nuts?
Yeah, for those who don't
Is that not
recognize
nuts?
the name,
Oh,
he is
no,
the guy, the prisoner who throws the bomb remote off the boat at the end of the Dark
And
Knight.
just
Yeah.
a few years before this, he was the president in Fifth Element. This guy's
Yeah.
been in good stuff.
No. I'm pro Tiny Lister. It's just that he's not called upon to do anything
No,
here,
no,
and therefore he does nothing
I
here.
just think he's the most likable presence in terms of.
We
I've
then
liked
have
him in other
yes,
stuff, yeah.
even though he's like,
entertainment
"Girl,
superstar
I'm gonna-
Coolio as
yeah.
187.
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
think the other thing is when you have him sharing scenes with Coolio, suddenly Tiny Lister looks like Daniel Day-Lewis.
And I love the whole like, we're brothers, man. You wouldn't do anything wrong to me. I a vampire. I'm gonna kill you. That's their whole scene.
I mean, that is the performance Coolio gives once he turns is I'm a vampire, and before that
I'm a vampire. Go ahead and
Coolio.
shoot me because it's not gonna do anything. I'm a vampire.
By the way, R.I.P. to Coolio. We did lose him in 2022.
And we lost him too early. I always enjoyed Coolio as Coolio. I don't enjoy Coolio in movies. I never have.
You didn't enjoy him in Batman and Robin, where he was the head of the underground motorcycle race that Dick Grayson goes, okay.
No.
You didn't like him as Dante Jackson in Daredevil? Most
of his scenes deleted and his performance is primarily in the director's cut? Yes.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, called 187 because that was his IQ before he started smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way,
but it's also a badass police code for murder.
I know that's the thing. That's the thing I thought was there's a lot of Gorgone. We'll talk about the totally incompetent future world building here that is inconsistent.
You mean a future world where they're constantly making 20th century references, but they don't know what a cross is, and they're like going, "You mean that wooden plus sign?"
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off.
The line, "God, who is that?"
God, who is that? And then that same character references the Bionic Woman later. The Bionic, Dude, to be fair, that's the future I kind of want to live in, where God is an afterthought, but the Bionic Woman is put up on a pedestal. Yeah, man. I'm all for that. Give me more Lindsay Wagner.
Just to finish off this cast list, we've got Alexandra Camp as Mina Murray, their intern/navigator,
who gives a nothing performance and a nothing part and makes no impression whatsoever.
She is a model turned actress.
Hey man, she's one of the stars of Leslie Nielsen's 2001: A Space Travesty. So his finest work.
Yep.
Grant Swanby as Arthur the Professor.
Oh God, this guy's terrible.
That performance is embarrassing.
They're
like, oh, he's the biggest brain we know, and the whole gimmick to that character is I'm in a wheelchair, so I can't get around. And I'm glad the future has gone to a place where there's no such thing as exosuits or cloned body parts or whatever.
The year 3000 still has wheelchairs.
It's still just
and glasses,
unchanged. Nothing futuristic about the wheelchair. It doesn't float or anything. It's still just a wheelchair. We've never improved upon that technology.
And one of the things that I love about his character is, for all of his intelligence, he's almost useless, completely useless, and he is the whiniest little bitch in this whole movie.
God, he's intolerable to watch.
But what about me? Oh, you can't leave me behind. Wait a minute.
But I gotta say, the finest Holmwood we've seen, man. Carrie Elway's Step Aside.
We've got Udo Kier, as we've mentioned, as simply the video log
Udo
of
Kier,
Captain Varna.
They set up a camera in Udo Kier's living room and put a green screen behind him. And he's like, I'll just read this.
Sort of thing lit up wall behind him.
Look, Udo Kier is in a lot of garbage. So the fact that this movie couldn't even afford Udo Kier for more than 30 seconds or whatever speaks to how low. But because it's like, I've seen Udo Kier in some real shit. I've also seen him be in great things, but he is one of those character actors. By the way, Hunter's fucking incredible.
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely. He's great.
Yeah. No, I mean, we know he's a great actor. If you put him in the right thing, it's just he will do anything.
He's also impervious. In other words, he's one of those good actors who the directors who have a feel for cult or interesting actors, they'll put him in a real movie and he'll deliver an amazing performance. But mostly makes his money off of direct-to-video bullshit. He's kind of
he's not nearly as ubiquitous, but he's kind of in the Eric Roberts camp, where like if you see him in a good thing, you go like, oh shit, right, you're like a really good actor.
Yeah,
and actually,
exactly,
he brings as much gravitas as could ever be expected with the stuff he's asked to do in this, which is not much, but still, I thought, they got Udo in this thing.
They got Udo, so finish it off there, Gorgone.
Yeah. Finally, we've got. I think we mentioned him already. Langley Kirkwood as Party Store Dracula.
Orlok / Dracula. I'm happy for this guy that he has worked in better stuff.
I'm glad it didn't destroy his entire rep for the rest of his life.
I mean, this is pretty early. He's only been working a few years at this point, and then he ends up in. A bunch of stuff. He's on the TV show Warrior, which is pretty good over on Max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he does stuff. He's
he's shit in this.
It cannot be overstated how much he is the Dracula costume you would put together at a party situation.
And
literally, his hair is slicked back, and it looks like someone has taken shoe polish to his hair.
In defense of him, just in general, I have no judgment of how good an actor this guy is, because he is just the costume. Like, he is just. Right. They have painted him up to look like Dracula in a very shitty afterthought way. And actually, one of the craziest things about this movie is how little a presence he is in it.
I know.
The juxtaposition of, we're trying to tell a science fiction story on the spaceship Demeter in the far-flung future, and yet, even though our Dracula is from the planet Transylvania, he will still dress like the costume you could get that says Dracula, because that's public domain and we can call it that.
What's interesting is that this planet of Transylvania, the Earth crew has never heard of.
Right.
Yet they are an Earth crew where there is a Transylvania. Also, the Carpathian galaxy is where the planet is. Mm-hmm. The Carpathians are a mountain range on Earth. So all the stuff like
they needed to do,
and then they go, it's a planet of vampires. So I guess they figured
out.
They don't know what that is. We know about vampires,
but no one knows what that is when they say that. They're like vampires.
Except for immediately you have Tiny Lister going, "Oh hell no, I ain't gonna be sucked on by no vampire." And you're like, "So you know about vampires?" But then they're like, "We got to find out a way to kill these things." Wait, you can't have it both ways. They know what a vampire is.
Dracula has been to Earth and done battle with Van Helsings in the 1800s.
Yes.
So what? Okay. This movie posits one of two possible scenarios.
And they're both shit.
I love a movie that has two valid theories to what's going on. Anyway.
I am far more entertained by one than the other.
Okay.
First theory, the one I'm less entertained
Gorgone has already thought about this infinitely more than me.
I've been thinking about this for decades at this point.
More than the writers. Yeah, the writers were just like, Dracula, I don't know.
So either Dracula starts on Earth in the traditional way, and then eventually leaves Earth and founds planet Transylvania and makes it a planet of vampires.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
alternatively, planet Transylvania predates our Transylvania, and Dracula came to Earth for a brief period of time. Van Helsing kicked his ass, and then he left.
And now he's coming back?
He's coming back.
Yeah, what's his plan?
You know how crazy close this is to Warren Magazine's Vampirella.
Oh, yeah, which is so much
because in that continuity, there is a planet called Draculon.
Mm-hmm.
And all the beings there, they subsist off of blood, which is like water to them. It rains blood, there's rivers of blood, and they're not seen as monsters on their planet, obviously. But apparently, like a century before Vampirella ever came to Earth, the elders of Draculon kicked out one of their own guys because he had reverted to a primitive way of being a vampire, which was killing for blood. And they exiled him. He ended up on Earth, where he became known as Dracula. So the Dracula novel happened, all that stuff happened, but he was already an alien from Draculon, which is where he gave himself the name Dracula.
Brandon, why are you telling people this? We saw the movie on this show.
I know we did. Oh my God.
And actually, I gotta say, I'll take fucking terrible Roger Daltrey Dracula over this.
That's what I'm saying. That is a more well thought out continuity backstory than anything in this movie.
I'll just tell you, calling the planet Draculon, as pulpy as that is already more creative than Planet Transylvania. Like, already there's just more.
Right.
There's just, I mean,
and does avoid you constantly hearing songs from Rocky Horror in your head.
Yes,
Not that that's a bad thing, because they're awesome songs.
No, but it makes me go, why am I watching this and not just Rocky Horror again? Because it's great. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, I just the idea of the Demeter as a spaceship is the single most clever thing they come up with in this movie. That's it.
It is.
That's end of creativity. What if the Demeter was a spaceship? Oh.
They have one twist in the plot, which are we actually gonna talk
twist
about this movie?
Yeah. Well, a little bit, yeah. But I'm saying like they have one twist in the plot, which is the same twist as every Alien movie.
Yes. The person you think is going to be the hero ends up being turned.
Oh, that twist. I thought you meant
that was the one I was
that Erica Laniak was a robot. I was going to say because there's always like a secret android.
No, okay, so it has
in
two
Alien
twists.
in Alien movies.
Yeah, the whole thing of Van Helsing not actually being the vampire killer in this and getting turned.
I agree. That is a mild, but it still goes back to. That might as well be Tom Skerritt, an alien who you think is going to be the hero captain.
Yep,
and then
exactly. And then
spoilers
you got
for Alien. And Erica Laniak.
Then we get a terrible heroine. Ugh, Ripley.
Yeah, come on, man. Erica Laniak, way better than Sigourney. I can't even commit to that bit.
Oh my God. No, I know. It's like the joke has died in my mouth.
Yeah, because this is not the first time. This is not the first time we've seen Erica Laniak in a vampire movie.
Nope. And what's hilarious to me is that Bordello of Blood, she was resisting, like, I don't want to be cast as a former porn star.
Yep. And then,
I don't want to take my clothes off.
Isn't it interesting? She's lost all clout. Whatever she had in that movie, in this movie.
She doesn't take her clothes off, and she's not playing a porn star. She is playing a character called Aura Ash.
Yeah.
And characters throughout this movie are constantly going like, damn, girl, I want to jack off on your tits.
No. That's better dialogue.
I'm paraphrasing.
I have the exact line, or is it here?
Oh, God. Is this
what is Coolio? Yeah.
Yeah, Coolio says, where is it here? I shuddered to even write this down. I goes, I've always wanted to ejaculate all over your bazonkas.
Yes.
I love the juxtaposition of the technical clinical term ejaculate.
Yeah.
And then bazonkas.
Yeah. By the way, okay, that's what we got to look at here. Who's responsible for this movie? Who's responsible? We have co-writer and director Daryl Roodt, R-O-O-D-T, Root.
Yeah.
Who has given us? Oh God, he's directed a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, I've seen none of it. but this guy has 50 directing credits with 2 in development, 1 in production, 1 in post-production. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
No one should allow him near a camera ever again.
But all of these movies don't exist. Much like this. Like I've heard of none of these movies. He directed the most recognizable thing he directed is an Ice Cube action film called Dangerous Ground, which I kind of remember being in a video store.
He directed a movie starring James Earl Jones and Richard Harris, for God's sake.
Whoa.
What movie was that? Oh God, he directed Cry the Beloved Country?
Yeah.
Well, that one. That was the most recent adaptation.
Yeah, that was the one from the 90s. I'm not saying like that's a great movie, but it's like that's like a serious movie.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't understand. Are you sure he's the director and not like some producer?
No, he's He listed as director.
1995. I don't even get it.
So within 9 years, he's directing this. Yeah,
there's
man.
No skill.
Imagine
in
this guy telling either James Earl Jones or Richard Harris what to do at all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. Because but like you bring up, Brandon, incompetence of like camera choices even in this.
Yeah.
There's really
no.
This is one of the worst made things. And by the way, I did look at the time code because there's also 3 minutes of opening titles in this thing. All in like and the movie clocks in at what like altogether like 80 minutes. So I'm just going like, man, you are killing time with these horrible, After Effects sci-fi credits.
If you get rid of the opening credits and the opening narration where they literally go through the entire cast list except for Dracula, then also get rid of the end credits, this movie clocks in at about 71 minutes.
Yeah. Which I will say, thank God, it did make it somewhat like, okay, this thing is ever about to end. And then the fact it even just stops is... But yeah, it is interesting. Back on the Erica Laniak point, not only the ejaculating or bazonkas, But there is so much talk about this big boobied lady is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Every single character, even there are moments, by the way, in this where we're meant to buy that there's some sort of depth of feeling between Van Helsing and her because she is his protege.
Yeah.
That he is trying to help become a captain someday.
Oh, the steamy sexual tension between her and...
there's none.
There's none because Casper Van Dien is a slab of meat.
He's a slab of meat in this. He doesn't deliver a single line. I mean, they're all competent, but they're flat, and he's handsome. That's it.
I agree though with the fellows over on Blank Check when they did Starship Troopers said Casper Van Dien though is so conventionally handsome it's disturbing. Like it's uncomfortable to look at. I kind of agree with that in terms of just like, and then you add to that he has no personality, and you are just going, this guy's like a drawing of an action hero.
When they did, oh god, when the movie starts, they find the Demeter floating adrift in space. The Demeter is a huge storage ship.
Okay, the beginning of this movie is 100% Event Horizon, right? It is absolutely Event Horizon.
They're like, we're salvage guys. We can claim the ship and we'll make lots of money.
Also,
look at the size of it.
Their ship is called Mother.
Yeah,
which is clearly an Alien reference.
Yeah, it's absolutely the flattest
reference. Nice that you would say this. Yeah,
in the same way that the planet Transylvania is a reference.
Yes, exactly. And it's just you're like going, dudes, you've spent no work.
No, much like just pulling names from the book, they're also just pulling names from other better sci-fi stuff too,
and hoping you don't notice.
Yeah,
who the fuck is gonna watch this movie that hasn't seen?
We're
Alien
on a salvage ship called. And if you haven't, run and watch Alien, because if you've only seen this, Alien's gonna blow you away.
Yeah, you're not ready for that.
Yeah. That might be too good. Take some steps between. Watch an Event Horizon. But immediately I'm going to Event Horizon, Alien, and then they start naming Dracula characters.
But when they do the thing of like, all right, we're gonna send Mina. She's gonna be the one to go.
She's the ship's navigator.
She's the ship's navigator. She's going to go explore the ship, which I do love the fact that they go like, oh, we're going to be able to get whatever bounty off the stuff on that ship, which ends up being like 14 coffins. Literal wooden coffins.
Yeah, this is what they used to store.
And then later they're like, oh, shit, we don't have any wood except for pool cues. I'm like, you have 14 coffins made of wood
that we already saw,
that shit.
And we already saw a scene where a bunch of those got broken apart when they were opening them. So you don't even have to. There's already broken pieces of wood down there.
No, Brendan, John, you misunderstand. Those coffins aren't made of wood. They're made of whatever they make the coolers in the shape of cardboard that they sell at Party City.
Yes, indeed.
Man, this movie racked up a charge at Party City. That's for sure.
They sure did.
I think they were mentioned. I think they were thanked in the credits at some point.
When Mina first steps on to the Demeter, she steps onto one of those welcome mats, and suddenly a witch thing pops out and goes, ah!
I mean, okay, so the whole movie is obviously shot on
scare in the movie.
The whole movie is shot on sound stages, obviously, but the fact that the fact that it was filmed on sound stages in South Africa is perfect for this thing. And I think that also makes sense because if you look at most of the credits of these other actors and like the director, they're mostly South African things. Like a lot of them were in Invictus, the Clint Eastwood Nelson Mandela movie.
Yes.
So I think a lot of these people, a lot of the reasons that a lot of these people have bigger credits is because they're just local actors when Hollywood movies come to South Africa.
Oh yeah, but anyway, so my favorite thing in this is, okay, how are we going to save money shot to shot? One is her gear is bananas bullshit. She's holding a big old normal flashlight that has been given a handle as a grip as if it were a gun. She's wearing a fucking gas mask you can get at Home Depot with like a couple of tubes attached and a couple of bleep bloop lights.
And what is it? Did they say it's 23 something, right?
Sure.
Oh no, it's 3000, isn't it? It's the year 3000.
The year is 3000.
And yet technology is only like just a little bit different.
No, there's literally duct tape on her mask attaching the tubes where the oxygen is supposed to go.
It's like she's walked so far in the future.
Which I guess, atmosphere controls are not working or whatever, so they have to have the mask, but instead they're going like, the ears are unprotected because these are literally home gas masks. And I'm like going, oh, so we're not worried about any kind of space vacuum.
Can I talk about the fact that the and I'm sure Gorgone, you saw this in the trivia, the spaceship is literally reused from a TV show called Space Rangers. Their main ship. It is
that show Space Rangers aired in 1994, so it's 10-year-old CG that they're literally reusing.
By the way,
Space Rangers is super interesting because of the people involved in making it.
I really like Space Rangers. I was a big Space Rangers fan when it was on, because of course I was.
Are you making that up?
No.
I've never heard of Space Rangers.
Space Rangers, real short-lived, sort of attempt to cash in on the Next Generation Babylon, that era of 93, 94. They only made like 6 episodes.
All I can say is it's thing no about Captain it is that Power.
Like Clint Howard's in it, and you've got Linda Hunt and Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa and Jack McGee. Like it's a stacked
All right,
cast.
I am now looking at
it was
Space
super fun.
Rangers. That's wacky. Never saw it.
It was super
and I
fun.
Don't feel I've missed too.
I have a box set. I have all 6 episodes on DVD. It was like a real childhood favorite of mine because I was just looking for anything set in space.
Okay,
sure. But like the fact that they're, as you bring up, Gorgone, the fact that they had to dig 10 years into the past to find something that they could. I mean, so you're using CGI made for a show that was like one of the first shows to even try to use CGI ships.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you guys to back up. Anytime you bring up a show I haven't heard of, the first thing you should say is Buddy Hackett was in an episode.
Buddy Hackett? Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Now I want to watch all 6 episodes just so I can prepare for the one that Buddy Hackett's in and then enjoy it. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. So she's walking around that ship, but what was cracking me up is you cut back to the control area where the captain's walking her through on radio contact with a headset that most people that ever played a PS1 had.
Yeah.
He's got that. And Homewood, who, by the way, we do know is in a wheelchair, so he should be sitting a couple feet lower. But he is literally, for a second, I'm watching this movie, I thought, are they conjoined twins? Because they are
that would have been interesting
from each other. It's a 2-shot with their profiles where they are literally shoulder to shoulder, both with the headsets and both going like, can you hear us in there, Mina? Yeah, I can hear us. Let us know what you're seeing. Okay. And apparently cameras don't work in the year 3000 either.
If we got rid of every shot in this movie where it was a tight close-up on either lips or eyes, it would literally be half the film gone.
Yep.
No, they never want to. It's very clear they've only built so much on the soundstage. They want to keep everything real shallow, just keep that frame real closed off.
The only interior we see of their original ship is Coolio's room, which is like a weird room made of bubble wrap and abandoned street signs.
Just so we can introduce
and a bong.
Yeah, that's right.
I love the fact that this movie is so forward-thinking that in the year 3000, in the year 3000, pot is still like this taboo thing. In the year 3000,
no, he literally says later they've legalized it now, but it used to be illegal.
But it used to be illegal in 27 something,
But also why? But then why are they making a big deal about there being a narc on board? What other drugs are they talking about?
The only
drug they talk about this whole movie is pot.
She's a narc on board who hasn't found anything. They're not. She just goes, well, I'm just here in case you guys are doing something. I haven't actually found anything.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was a good use of an android.
And then they also go, oh, you're a narc? That explains why you're always telling us about the laws of places. Like, wait, if she's a narc, shouldn't she just be letting them do their crime and observing a report? Instead, she's trying to steer them away from crime?
So what we don't know is that in the year 3000, the term for narc has actually transposed hall monitor.
I was thinking the same thing.
Narc is more about pointing at people and going, hey, slow down.
Yeah, come on, man.
I guess so.
They're like traffic cops. It's just deterrence, right? It's just like,
hey, 3,000.
I thought the whole movie I was thinking that.
I know. And you know what? The effects of having that one guy with like the collar and the black robe against the black background.
Already better than Late Night with Conan O'Brien was already doing better technology than this.
This movie.
All right, let me see here.
And I hate my life. Let's wrap this up.
Can we talk about the fact that Sonny Lister is a sexual predator in this movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, who isn't? Maybe Casper Van Dien, I guess.
No, that's what I'm saying is that they try to set up in a couple of scenes like, "Hey man, I really care about you," but then there's also scenes where Van Helsing's like going, "With a body like that, am I right?" And you're constantly going, "Damn, look at those titties," and you're going, "Wait, are you?" Sort of paternal and or possibly flirty with her. I'm not sure.
I hate to invoke something from the action shelf, except I also say you should go check it out. This is a divorced dad movie, and it is just thing where it's like, you tell me you can have Erica Eleniak in a movie and nobody's commenting on those big old titties.
And don't worry,
John,
folks,
please,
they do.
Bazongas.
Yeah, those bazonkas.
Yeah, bazongas.
Those bodacious bazonkas.
That Coolio line, which you brought up, cracks me up simply because it's such weird choices there. Because ejaculate is, he says, I was dreamed of ejaculating on those bazonkas.
It could be.
So it's like this weird.
It could be one of the worst written lines I've ever heard in any film.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
In a movie filled with horrible lines. That one is. But yeah, I bring this up only because when they're over on the ship, Tiny Lister pretends that he's having a breathing problem when they take off their mask, but it's only so he can kiss Mina non-consensually.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly
it. And it's played off more like, you scamp.
Eleniak is, of course, constantly commented on, but so is Mina.
Yeah.
And
who is
her big thing is just like her going,
though, in this movie. Really.
I'm a navigator. Why am I doing this? And then they're like, you must not be a very good navigator since we're lost. Ha 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 ha.
That's about as I do love all that stuff where it's like they establish her as the navigator, like in his little opening thing, and then she never does any navigation. Instead, she just talks about, why am I doing other stuff when I should be so why even bother?
They also say that she's technically like an intern. So she's basically free labor.
Also super weird that she's an intern.
Space intern coming to NBC this fall.
Yeah, I'm just here for space college credit.
It's a work-study program.
Yeah, with a salvage ship. What school is this?
Oh God! School of Hard Knocks, John.
Like the
best school.
Every piece of information that is introduced in this movie makes absolutely no sense, and then at a certain point starts contradicting itself. I've never. This is one of the worst scripts I've ever seen in anything.
This was written over the course of a day. It was filmed over the course of a weekend.
No, if you told me that was the case, I would 100%. Much like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, where they shot it in 3 days or something like that.
Yeah,
that's 100% what this feels like. In fact, that Roger Corman Fantastic Four has infinitely better production value than this.
I would watch that any day of the week over this.
Yeah.
Any day.
There are actually some things that movie gets right about the Fantastic Four that none of the others have. It's really weird and upsetting, actually.
It's a terrible movie, but
still the best Doctor Doom on film?
Still the best live-action Doctor Doom, unquestionably.
That should not be the case.
That guy went for it. And you know who that guy is? Son of Bob Culp. Our old
Son
pal
of Culp.
Yeah. I think he's still pitching that show around. Son of Culp.
That's a series of films I'd watch.
The
Return of Son of Culp.
Yeah, so anyway, and like we talked about, Coolio's introduced smoking weed.
That's so weird.
And throughout the movie,
I was like, what a weird take on Coolio.
Throughout Coolio weed? What? Throughout the movie, we keep getting these. They interstitially cut to the captain's log of Udo Kier, who is talking about like, I've introduced the quarantine measures and something's happened to the crew and they're no longer human.
Right.
And once again, it's like, God damn it, Udo Kier, you are still totally taking a paycheck and sitting on a desk chair in your living room, but you were still going like, they're not human anymore.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He gives a performance.
Hold on, I have to call for
when
the
he is
Herzog
reading the cue cards.
Yeah.
Right.
He's still an actor, and that is more than anyone else in this film is.
He is the kind of actor I love where it's like, it doesn't matter. The guy can't turn it off. He's never going to not be great. Like, it's just like, nope, I have to take this seriously. It's a total nothing gig, but I still will find a performance. And
yes,
man,
indeed.
That's why Udo Kier always comes out. That's why we stay loving him through all this shit.
May I make a proposal to John?
I like you a lot as a friend, but I'm not ready.
I would like to marry the movie Dracula 3000. No. Mostly for the tax write-offs.
Yeah. This movie might as well have been called Tax Write-Off.
Yeah. The plot of this movie is bad.
Yeah.
Could we instead just run down the weird anachronisms of world building that they're trying to lay out in this
That's why
film?
I'm kind of just scrolling through my notes to see like what is worth talking about.
The plot of this movie is Dracula on a spaceship, people show up, everybody dies, ship explodes, movie ends.
Yeah. I mean, like you're talking about, it's the last voyage of the Demeter in space, but then weirdly everyone is called characters from the novel after the Demeter. So that's all very strange. Yeah, like I said, and it is trying to be Alien or Event Horizon meets Dracula. That was definitely the pitch for the $10.
And I love that elevator pitch, but it doesn't execute it at all.
It didn't make it out of the elevator.
No, I mean, here's the thing: is you could still do that movie because this didn't even come.
The line snapped, and the car of the elevator just plummeted.
Dennis Hopper blew the brakes on it, and Keanu Reeves couldn't save anyone.
It became a whole sort of Final Destination kind of thing, and that was it.
The poster of this movie sells more of a Final Destination than this movie does.
We didn't even talk about the poster. The poster, is indicating...
The poster has nothing to do with this movie.
No, and it's indicating that there's going to be anything even remote. The poster is scarier than the movie.
Oh, yeah.
The poster...
Like these big fangs.
I don't want to see that movie. It's like a... It's getting to Giger-esque a little bit.
I was gonna say it's like H.R. Giger-esque, like techno Dracula.
I'm a techno Dracula.
John, you're not.
Oh, I want to be though.
I know. Deep in my heart, I feel like I'm a techno Dracula.
Yeah, I identify as a techno Dracula. That's my. People could start referring to me as that. I'm gonna make this happen.
My pronouns are they're still he him, but I just want to stress techno Dracula.
So it's like, should you address me? No, you should just have that in the back of your head though when you talk to me, that you're talking to a techno Dracula. And once again, the baseline pitch of Dracula in space could be cool, I guess. Although, like you were saying, Brendan, we've just seen too many.
They do these things that
Vampirella
that the writer was like patting himself on the back with the whole thing of like, what is it you want? And he goes, darkness, infinite. And you're like going, ooh, but that's awesome.
But what does that mean?
Going, what does that mean? I'm like, dude, you're in space.
You got it. You've done it.
Now, you got it.
You've succeeded.
Can I ask the two experts here a logistical question about the vampire powers?
Indeed, yes. Yeah. This is let me put on my expert hat.
Famously, Draculas are destroyed by sunlight, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What is a sun if not a star?
Dude,
well, that's an interesting question.
It's about proximity too, though. See.
Okay. I'm just checking because I don't know where to draw the lines on these things.
I know.
But
the
also,
whole thing at the end where it's like we've got to point our ship at a sun.
But I also don't understand why we would have to drive the ship into the sun. Didn't if we just get close enough and get him near a window?
Also, you could just let the ship drift forever and turn off its systems, or just blow it up right there.
Yeah. Well, that was Udo Kier's plan.
Yeah, you could just self-destruct the ship. Yep. He doesn't have to go into a sun. He can't float. He can't swim through space.
But that was the whole thing. At the beginning of the movie, Udo Kier tries to self-destruct the ship, and Dracula stops him.
You wouldn't even have to
Dracula knows how to turn it off?
I mean, if they just wanted to fully rip off Alien, it could have ended with them just ejecting him into space, right? Like,
yeah.
Sure.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Well,
and Dracula's like, what?
I want to see
We also established that at the end of this movie,
great.
Our two surviving characters don't know how to fly the ship.
And they don't survive. There's no surviving characters. So watch your
surviving
mouth.
In quotes until the ship explodes in the movie.
How dare you suggest that any of these characters
don't
survive?
even give them the idea they could continue this in any capacity. Please.
Right.
We have to watch a third Dracula 2000.
One of my favorite parts of the end of this film is the fact that they say, "Oh, we've got 12 hours till we hit the sun," and then the ship literally just explodes for no reason.
I know. Well, what we didn't see was them having sex for 12 hours, and I'm grateful for that.
Don't you feel good that the guy who's been a sexual predator the whole movie finally gets
rewarded.
to just fuck a robot? Also, Casper Van Dien had sex with Erika Eleniak in the past?
Possibly.
Yes, 100%.
And did not know she was a robot, so implying that their androids have gotten so good.
Yeah, you
cannot tell you are not literally having intercourse.
Right.
That's insane.
And let us not forget that in one of her last lines of the movie, Erika Eleniak says that she's actually a repurposed love droid.
Yep.
I think Pleasure Bot.
Pleasure Bot. Sorry.
Pleasure Bot. Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, I haven't always been a narc bot. Originally I was a pleasure bot. So as long as we're going to hit the sun, I might as well have sex with you, a guy I have not enjoyed being around this entire movie.
Because I'm a robot. Like, I understand she's a pleasure bot, but that implies she has, like, a sex drive and would now go, like, I want to go out experiencing pleasure as an...
Yes.
What the fuck is going on? I mean, like, I just don't even... God, this movie.
Yeah, no, the end of this movie is literally just like, well... Let's imply some sex, and then the ship explodes. The end.
Yeah. He literally throws her over his shoulder to run off and have sex with her.
It goes, oh boy, like we gonna have sex.
Oh boy.
But where is he going? Because they've locked themselves in this room because of Dracula outside.
Over in the corner.
Oh, that's right.
That's my sex corner over there.
I didn't even think about that. I gotta say, at some point, I did stop thinking.
The movie forces you.
The movie didn't reward me for thinking.
Watching this movie is the equivalent of traumatic brain trauma.
I legitimately thought this movie might cause you an aneurysm, Brendan.
Gorgone and I were talking about, Gorgone and I were talking about this yesterday. We were recording our Star Wars podcast, and I go, Brendan might not survive watching this movie.
The thing is, this is what I was talking about. It's like, if you're going to approach the original source material is when I get real picky. But when you immediately show absolutely no grasp or any, I'm like, so this wasn't even an attempt.
No,
it was the barest of bones. So I just went, this was like watching a Groovy Ghoulies cartoon. I was not offended for Dracula's sake.
Man, Groovy Ghoulies, though, is a better representation of Dracula.
Is more a better representation. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, good Lord.
I'll take Scooby-Doo at the Ghoul School.
Yeah,
yes,
100%.
Exactly. Right off, you're in better hands.
Anything. I mean, really, I think that is key, though, as you're talking about. It has no ambition. It doesn't care, so why would I feel anything towards it? I think that's what it is. It's we've seen a couple movies like this where it's so horrible that it's almost not even worth getting angry about. It's just
that's exactly
this is just garbage. This is just utter garbage.
There had no redeeming quality at all. I can't stress that enough. Nothing here.
No, there's no
not even the concept, because they bungle that so quickly.
Well, because they don't really do the concept. They don't really. It doesn't matter. You could change every character name, including that of Dracula, and it wouldn't matter. It approaches the Dracula mythos in no way.
I will say this movie does the one thing I see very rarely in vampire storytelling, and that is the stake doesn't actually kill them. It just like disables them until the stake gets pulled out.
Yeah, I've never
you don't
that
see
myself.
that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a cost-saving thing in this movie, but
also it was just an excuse to have a ladder jump scare with Mina gets staked, and then she pops back up after they pull it out. You're like, okay, that was just so they had that. Like, all right, great.
So movie. So you've done that now. Yeah. But the idea that the only thing the whole thing about the pool cues, because the talk about the world building of it, because we haven't used wood, but the ship is only 50 years old is what Homewood says. So in 50 years wood has been complete. In 2950 people are still making stuff out of real wood, and somehow only in the last 50 years has wood become totally synthetic.
Yeah,
correct.
And they're like, oh shit, but
weed became legal.
We've got pool cues. Don't worry about that.
We've got real wood pool cues, which are to this day still made with real wood. Oh wait, I don't think a lot of them are actually.
Oh man, this
What
movie.
is up with all of the?
What's up with that?
What up with
the hammer and sickle showing up over and over again in this film? The USSR imagery.
I don't know.
I also thought it was weird that they played the score for Hunt for Red October throughout the whole thing. No,
But like it keeps showing up. There's like flags of it. There's like it shows up on computer screens.
Yeah. Now that you mention that, I don't know. Are they trying to posit some future where communist Russia took over?
Could you imagine a world where weed is legal, there's no wood, and the Russians are in charge?
Well, it also like implies this like secular communist thing in the future because they've also gotten rid of God.
Yeah, they got rid of religion, so I guess.
Who's God?
That is so stupid.
That made me laugh more than anything in the movie.
We are talking about centuries, but again, just like you said, they cannot, in that movie, if that's what they're going with, they cannot reference Bionic Woman. They just can't.
Well, also, even still, like, the ubiquity of, you would still think you'd be like, the concept of God, like in Star Trek, right? Is in a secular
4 millennia of human history isn't erased.
We're still talking about
like in a world
Zeus and Odin. So for fuck's sake,
that's
they
what I was
still
gonna say.
know about Jesus and crosses.
The way they talk about like Star Trek is a totally scientific secular world, but they will still go like, on Earth people once believed and stuff like that. You'll have Picard talk about Christianity and people used to have these beliefs. It's like, I guess these characters are morons. So although Van Helsing seems to know
down
that,
to them being morons.
And so when they realize, let's talk about this scene. When they realize that Van Helsing, that this Dracula has fought a Van Helsing ancestor, what does that amount to?
Nothing.
No, it doesn't. And Dracula even is surprised by that because they're like, "Oh, he must be after you because you're a Van Helsing." And then Dracula's like, "You're a Van Helsing?"
A plot red herring that adds up to nothing. Yeah. But I do love, I do love the sort of somehow Palpatine came back kind of thing where
the dead speak,
where you have Homewood literally sitting there going like, do you understand the odds in this entire universe for Dracula and you, a Van Helsing, to meet in the year 3000? He goes, I can't even begin to calculate that. It's sort of like going, we want to underline how crazy that is, but we're also going to devote no time.
It's the same thing as, the movie does this a lot. It's the same thing as like, but I'm the navigator. Why am I being sent? The movie is just doing stupid stuff and then going, yeah, that seems impossible, right? It's happening though.
It's less of a lampshade and more of a chandelier falling on your head, but yeah.
Back to Phantom.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Dude, I will watch Gerard Butler butcher Andrew Lloyd Webber songs all day over this. All day, every day.
I will say, unlike, I appreciate you guys looking out for my health, but unlike this movie destroying me, instead it really did just sap.
Yeah.
It sapped joy.
Yeah.
It sapped interest. Like I was sitting there going, maybe I don't need to watch a Dracula movie ever again.
Well, what's interesting is, as of the recording of this, the three of us fairly recently just went and saw Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes.
Which, I mean, now we already liked it, but now you're like, what a fucking masterpiece.
What a fucking masterpiece.
A absolutely perfect monster movie.
This doesn't succeed on any level. Even when it's bloodletting, it's lame.
There's really not. There's no not
horror.
A lot of, no, there's
except
not.
For Coolio's enjoyment of being a vampire, which that is supposed to be unnerving.
Boy,
he's like, I can do anything I want.
That's more annoying than unnerving. I found it personally, but no. Let's talk about that too. That like we always talk about when we do these vampire movies. Boy, these are some fast changing vampires, aren't they?
Yep. It's about 3 minutes.
Also, it's a planet of vampires, but it's also a virus.
Well,
shreds.
It's a planet full of people that have the virus.
I guess that's the idea. Is that the vampire virus swept through this planet, and now people leaving this planet means they're infecting others, which is creating more Man,
Sure.
Once
Yeah,
again,
let's
What
go
a
with that.
terrifying thought.
oh, could you imagine?
I can't. I'm never going to the planet Transylvania.
Yeah, you know what?
But-
Just as long as you stay away from Transylvania planet.
Somebody had to be around to record the fact that it was a planet of vampires.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
where
that
did
they would
pick
have
that
the
up?
information.
Where
in
did
that
they pick
database.
that up? Yeah. And then once again, they're going, what's a vampire? Oh, it's this being that needs blood to live.
So we're food to it?
Man,
It's
I don't
gonna
want to be
eat
no
us?
vampire food. Doesn't he say, doesn't the tiny list have
He
some line
does.
about that?
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be no food for no vampire.
Yeah. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna get sucked on by no vampire. Great.
And of course,
the fact that they don't even like know the word vampire is patently ridiculous.
I mean,
because like vampire bats exist.
a
Yep.
lot of cultures changed very quickly.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we'd even recognize Earth of 3000.
But not the Bionic
That's
Woman.
true,
That
yeah.
is eternal. There are churches built to Lindsay Wagner.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'd go.
And a no to you.
Yeah, no.
She's constantly
All
tearing
hail
Bibles in half with her bare hands.
Our Lord and Savior, Jamie Summers. For she lifted her bionic ear skyward and did hear the word.
Pray to Jamie. She can hear you from quite far away.
For she fell from sky out of plane and survived. They could
Their priests just
rebuild
wear
her.
tracksuits.
Yeah, and their forms of communion are basically tennis matches. Played a lot of tennis, Jamie.
Played a lot of tennis, yeah.
Oh,
This movie's terrible.
Yeah.
There's an entire sequence where they tie up Eric Eleniak because they're convinced.
well, they know that she and Dracula had a meeting
Yeah.
in the hallways.
Yeah.
And they know that anyone that gets close to him, he bites them. That's how Coolio turns.
Chomp,
so they're
chomp.
like, how come you're not a vampire? How do we know you're not a vampire? And she's like, because I'm telling you I'm not a vampire. Well, why would he talk to you without biting you and turning you into a vampire?
Yeah, that don't make no sense,
I can't
lady.
answer that. Oh, just believe me, I'm not a vampire. That goes on for 15
And then
minutes.
talk about another moment where this is like, well, maybe he just bit you somewhere we can't see it. She goes, why don't you strip me naked, Tiny Lister? I know you want to. He's like, ooh, don't you tempt me with those bazonkas.
I know. I mean, you're not mocking. That is essentially what it is.
Ooh,
And that's for you, the
boy.
audience, to start going like, because she does start doing that. Well, if you're not going to free me, because they leave Humvee, aka Tiny Lister, with her as the guard, and she's like out of options. So then she starts doing the seduction thing, and that's awkward as fuck.
Goes back
But
to her
basically-
pleasure bot programming.
Yes, and then you're sitting there going like, as the audience member, oh, maybe she has been turned.
Yeah, right, because you're thinking, oh, that's
So-
kind of a vampire move,
But
right?
but it
And
ends
then I
up
realized I was thinking, and then I said, "Stop, Brendan, stop."
because it ends up that like she's a robot, so Dracula can't have turned her.
Right.
But
Right.
it then implies that everything she learned about Dracula came in a scene after where he grabs her in the hallway,
Yeah.
is like about to bite her neck, and then it cuts away. So
Yeah.
it implies that a scene happened where he bit her, went bleh, and then said,
Blah,
okay, well, I'm not
robot.
going to turn you, but here's an explanation of where I come from.
Yeah, it's-
Right. Instead of just
Take a
possibly
seat.
using his vampire strength to rip her robot arms from her body and
Yeah.
then stomp on her robot head.
No, yeah, why would he let
Yeah.
her go? She's a threat to him then, right? Like,
I would think the answer to that, John, is movie don't care.
movie don't care. She also has a
Movie
line, I'm sure
don't
another line this writer I'm sure thought was very cool when she talks about she's searching the ship for Coolio, and then they find her and she says, I saw him. They're like, oh, you saw 187? She goes, no, I saw him.
Yeah.
And then
That was
everybody's
so
like,
eerie.
I still
Why
need more
would
information.
she be like haunted by Dracula?
yeah. Yeah.
Robots and
She's a
vampires are
robot.
famously not really, they don't get along.
Oh, the long-standing rivalry between vampires and robots. I mean,
No,
Yeah,
the long-standing
that was
rivalry is
the
between
people-
robots and Aztec mummies. That's what I know.
That's also true. Yeah, robots have a lot of enemies. Is actually what we've been learning.
Yeah, robots versus aliens,
Yeah.
robots versus zombies.
Yeah, robots, man. These friggin' robots. I gotta tell you,
These friggin'
these
robots.
friggin' robots. Isn't that one of the lines in this
That
movie?
famous film series where the vampires and the robots face off is, what's it called? Overworld? Is that the one?
Overworld?
I'm
I have
joking.
no idea what you're talking. Okay.
It's the Underworld
Got it,
riff
got it, got it, got it, got it.
that I
Underworld.
did And sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. This movie broke my brain, though, I think, too.
Yeah.
So.
Can you both believe that this movie came out the same year as Spider-Man 2?
I can't. You mean one of the finest comic book films of all time?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just goes to show you that there was a large spectrum of films that came out that year.
Yeah. Whenever even this one, just because Letterboxd, I don't write the reviews, but I've now gotten obsessive. Like any movie I watch, I will rate it in Letterboxd. And I like looking at all the movies that I've watched. You go back through the years.
Yep.
And now, thanks to our podcast, John, I'll be able to go back to 2004, and I'll see all these excellent movies, and then in between, they'll be like Dracula 3000. I have Blade Trinity in there, but I had seen that one before. But it's all these things where I'm like going, God, well, that Stink Burger is right next to some of these Vincent Price movies. I'm like going, oh, that's right next to a classic of the era, and there I watched this thing.
It's always my comment to people when they talk about how like, oh, movies used to be better. It's like, no, there was still shit then too.
Oh, every era.
People talk about the golden age of Hollywood. You're like, yeah, there's some real classics, but there's a lot of garbage that mostly you just don't see because it's just been shoved aside by time. Like they made a ton of shit.
Or like the film canisters literally were destroyed because nobody wanted them.
The movie doesn't exist. It's sort of
but they do need to all be preserved. We should always have available to us the worst films ever made.
Well, I mean, hey man, somebody is still working on a 4K of Manos: The Hands of Fate. So
why?
They're upsampling. I don't know, man, but that's a real passion project for somebody. He was that was a while back. He was doing a Kickstarter
because I want to see just Torgo in 4K resolution.
I need those giant knees coming right at me.
I need to really know where the costume ends and the man begins.
Jesus Christ Almighty!
How about the fact
R.I.P.
that
Torgo?
R.I.P. Man. How about the fact?
I know
that he convinces Homewood to become a vampire because he can make him walk, but then Homewood
off screen,
then Homewood can't walk.
No, he can't walk, and he even goes out like a real whiny bitch vampire too.
Well, I mean, true to the
they
last.
They just come up behind him in a chair, and they don't even. I mean, there's like Homewood, and he doesn't really respond.
And so then Erica Laniak just stabs him
from behind, and he goes, "Oh no, I'm dead."
And then you get, of course, the great joke of, "Well, how'd you know he was a vampire?" I didn't.
I was just willing to kill this guy because he was whiny.
Yeah, this guy sucks, man. Vampire or not, he had to go. He was a liability.
This guy sucks, and he is probably the worst character in it, and that's saying something.
He's certainly the most annoying character in it. There's no question about that. Boy, oh boy. And then I think they didn't even have like a battle with Dracula. Oh wait, we do need to talk about Dracula being a little bitch.
Well, he throws some people around, doesn't he?
He does.
Does he just run down the hallway?
He just runs down the
hallway a lot.
But then when he reaches into the cockpit of the ship,
they do slice off his arm. Yeah.
And then, boy, does he not like that. That is not a Dracula I want to see cradling his severed arm.
Our final image of Dracula in this movie is him crying, cradling his stump arm, and then it cuts away.
Wouldn't his arm grow back?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
maybe.
But instead, he's like, no, oh, it hurts so much. That's the Dracula I need in my life.
This is awful. I am cramping up. We need to finish this because I'm feeling pain.
Movie hurt me bad.
And movie don't care.
Movie don't care. What do you want? Gorgone, you said you bought this, you rented this, what? You paid for this twice?
Oh, yes.
Explain yourself.
For those watching along at home who might be trying to enjoy, quote unquote, these movies along with the podcast, be forewarned that Dracula 3000 is very difficult to watch except when renting it on Amazon.
I know. I dug through everything, man. I went to every I worked so hard not to pay for this thing, and I couldn't find it.
That being said, there is an error that appears on certain app versions of Amazon where if you type in Dracula 3000, it will show you 2 images of the Dracula 3000 poster. Do not be fooled. Only one of these is actually Dracula 3000. The other one is Wes Craven's Dracula 2000.
Oh, wow. Amazon made a mistake that cost you money.
I know. I had to rent Dracula 2000 again. And I started it, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right.
No.
Wait a minute. That's a Virgin Megastore. Wait a minute.
A very tiny Gerard Butler?
Oh, man. Whew, boy. Anything else?
I'd already been on that episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
I wasn't about to do it again.
Anything
really
else
sorry.
you want to add, Gorgone, before we wrap this thing up? Are there any other morsels from this?
Again,
you've
like
seen
the
this...
indelible images that are just burned into my head of this film is Party City Dracula running down the corridor of a spaceship. It's just so stupid.
How dumb this guy was.
Yeah, it's really bad. This poor guy, really.
You don't even need to watch this movie. Just go to the IMDb page and you can see what he looks like.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a picture of him like cradling his stump arm and screaming.
Good.
Oh, it hurts so much. Once again, I do not want a Dracula who's going like, no.
Dracula never counted on doors.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The fact that mortal beings, even a robot, can like have the strength to push a door closed to literally slice off the arm of Dracula.
Yeah.
But
so
that
dumb.
is Tiny Lister.
Ow.
That's fair.
Ooh, it hurts so much.
Ow. Ooh.
We talk about Christopher Lee had some bad moments where he went out pretty weakly, but
yes,
he still was more of a bad. He never had anything this bad. Jesus
no,
Christ.
he did, and
I guess.
And this is a Dracula who slipped on ice and died once. So
I know.
In summation, I think this could make like for a decent bad movie night for like you and a group of friends.
This should be an MST3K.
Yeah.
Literally would be an MST3K.
Yeah. It's 100% that.
The fact that they haven't done it, I don't understand.
I mean, I feel like they will. It's probably on a big list somewhere, right, for when they start those seasons.
Well, and like who knows? Like the Riff Tracks guys have been at this for years now, and so they've got a huge catalog.
They have done a lot of them, so they may have covered it. But no, that's the only way, because without that, with just the silence of you sitting there alone, Jesus, this is rough.
It's real bad.
This is a rough movie. Thankfully, it is so short.
Yeah, and now we're done.
And now we're done. So Dracula 3000, I think that's a around the horn, do not watch.
Never.
The furthest from a recommend we can have. And also I do like as it ends, they have the horrible After Effects sci-fi credits at the beginning.
They do.
And then no effort on the credits at the end. They're the most TV looking shit end credits. I just love where it's like, and the movie's over.
Freeze frame on the ship having blown up, credits, then black with credits, and that's it.
Chroma key credits.
Yeah, and like
literally.
we're like whatever the base font that just came with the program is. It's
because the opening credits went on for 18 minutes and everyone was already covered. Oh God, this movie stank.
Yep.
What's next week, John?
Next week, you know what's weird, Gorgone? Every time the last several episodes you're on, for some reason, you are the harbinger of this franchise coming back, because we went to the future with this. Now we're going back in time for Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning.
We're gonna go back in time.
Yeah,
oh
that's right.
Boy, Ginger Snaps Back,
the beginning.
I am the Ginger Snap Herald.
It just the last three episodes you've been on have been followed by Ginger Snaps for some reason.
I still think that no matter how bad this one might be, and I hear it's actually not so bad, but it will still be a breath of fresh air.
Oh God, it can only be better than this.
After this movie was over, I opened my apartment door into the hallway and just was fanning. I was fanning the door. I was trying.
And then
you're
saying that neighbors are walking by, and you're going, "I'm so sorry. I'm so."
Literally, I got a note from my landlord
Dracula
going,
3000?
"You cannot do that.
Yeah,
you
please
cannot do that.
Please, no more. You can't, man. This is your first warning. Okay, you will get evicted for more of this. But yeah, Ginger Snaps Back, the prequel. We're going back to 19th century Canada.
Perfect.
I'm glad I've set a new baseline for terrible on this show.
You really, I think you have.
It's certainly the worst movie we've watched this season. I mean, I think that's more the way we should talk about what's the worst movie of each decade.
That could work because one of those howlings has got to be the 90s. Yeah, this could be the 2000s.
Yeah, well, I mean, is the worst?
This is worse than Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, Wolves of Wall Street was horrible, but but way better than this.
Yep.
No, yeah, because I think Frankenstein Island was the worst we saw in the 80s. I think the worst Howling we saw was that one that was just filmed at that hotel.
Yeah, the last one. That was like what? That was the 7th. Whatever that was called. Yeah. New Moon Rising.
And still, we have one more still out there.
What?
We still have one more Howling we have not seen. That's coming. I think this season.
Also, I'd rather watch any subspecies.
Yeah, and we know we have another subspecies that just came out. So
that is hot out of the oven.
Yep,
anyway,
hot
let's call it there.
There
it's
it is,
dead.
folks. Yeah,
there's no bringing this back.
No. This is not undead by any means. So yeah, Gorgone, thank you as always. Of course, you can hear Gorgone every week with myself covering Star Wars comics over on May the Panel Be With You, as well as you can hear him on his own show, Material Components, where you're playing. Are you still in space in that game? So, I mean, somewhat tangentially related to this.
Funny story related to Material Components. In the second season of Material Components, very early on, I ran a small arc that was basically this movie, where they have to encounter a vampire on a spaceship. And it was called The Demeter. And look, I'd be lying if I said I didn't take inspiration from it. The baseline concept of this film.
I was going to say, the first person to ever say they were inspired by Dracula 3000.
The only vampire in space things I think have ever worked, I'm going to say it right now, and actually space vampires, maybe not vampires in space. Life Force.
Life Force is what I was going to say. I like Life Force.
But fun. And then I'm going to say that episode of Buck Rogers with the weird Nosferatu-looking space vampire
100%.
that gets I'm sorry, not Aaron Gray, but Wilma Deering, her character, all hot and bothered. Mm-hmm. And that worked for me as a kid. This can go straight to hell. But we'll see you again,
where it belongs,
Gorgone, because we can't shake you.
I think you'll be back for another Underworld.
Well, I'll be back for a couple Underworlds.
Because we haven't yet gotten into the real expanse of Underworld movies, right? Like, we've still just seen the one. It's going to be a while before that becomes an ongoing franchise, really. So
right, yeah.
So you will continue to cover that with us. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
In the year 3000.